Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday, the 4th of August 2022. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the Tarot of the Water for today's reading. Global art collaboration. So each card is from a different artist. Let me just show you some of these cards. Okay, so let's see what these cards want you to be aware of here on Thursday the 4th. So first card, the Two of Pentacles. Okay, the ability to manage your circumstances very well, to keep several plates spinning at the same time and not to become overwhelmed. Then we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So this multitasking leads to a place of greater seeing. So because you're focused on more than one thing at a time, you're able to make bigger and better decisions. It's like, you know that saying, if you want something done, give it to a busy person, because they'll knock it out like that. Whereas someone who's, oh yeah, give me a week, I'll put it into the schedule. Yeah. So it's same thing. It's by managing your circumstances and keeping an eye on several of your interests, you're able to get rid of this blindfold and see what really motivates you and what you want to expand in life. And then the Ten of Cups is about realizing your hopes and dreams, but first and foremost, realizing what your hopes and dreams actually are. So I want to fall in love, or have a palace by the sea, or I want to work creatively, or have a spiritual awakening. Whatever that is, becomes very, very clear, and obviously that is going to be a big life event. If you look back and you're suddenly like, this is the moment when I realized I wanted to be a great painter. So off I went to painting school, and then look at me 10 years after this realization, I'm the world's foremost watercolorist, or whatever it may be. So this is amazing. It's a really fabulous opportunity to realize what is important to you. And I always go on about this, and you may think it's trite, or maybe I'm not explaining it well enough. But for a lot of people, finding what they want to do in life and discovering an interest, that's the problem in itself. You know, if at the age of 5, you know that you want to be a ballerina, then that's all very well, because at least you have something to aim towards. You have a direction to go in. And either, if you don't have a direction, you then have to be prompted by other people, and that usually entails some sort of conflict. And then you're pushed in directions which don't work for you, and it's a completely different experience. So I feel that knowing what it is that's important to you, like understanding what the dream is, and then taking that information and being able to do something about it, that's a major blessing as far as I'm concerned. So this deck has changed the meanings a little bit. So we've got these two dragons connecting. It looks like a happy family scene. So yeah, the Ten of Cups usually has a happy family involved. And that's because it's like this idealized notion of what is the most important thing to me. And a lot of people would say family over everything, you know. So what is your heart's desire? And what's your relationship to that? So have you manifested everything that you want in life, or are you at the very beginning? And here in these two cards, we've got an octopus. And that's, first of all, associated with this scary sea monster that hovers, you know, beneath the surface. And it's like, oh my God, if I crossed, like imagine if you're swimming in the ocean late at night, and you know how that horrible feeling when something brushes your ankle, like some seaweed or something when you're swimming? Imagine an octopus like jumps out at you, not that they, but it would be really frightening. And I feel that understanding what is it that I want to do in life, what's important to me, that can be just as frightening, because it's like, okay, if I do know that I want to become a football player, That's all. Okay, great. I have that information, but what if I fail? What if I now try it and I fail? And that's where I think a lot of people then fall down, because that fear of failure is so common. And it puts a lot of people off. And then the other thing about this octopus, well, I don't know why I keep focusing on this, but it's this ability to multitask, right? And the Two of Pentacles in itself is a card that says you're juggling more than one thing at a time. Usually it's a young man who's kind of literally juggling them. And there's an infinity symbol between the two pentacles. Here it's this endless cord of the tentacles. And it may feel that you've got you're involved in everything that's going on. But the interesting and surprising thing is everything is going really nicely and it's under your control. So the message here isn't to just then rest on your laurels and to say, oh, well, work is going really well and family relationships and the plans for the holiday and da-da-da, so I can just chill and relax. Instead, the cards are saying, if things are going so well, take that extra time that you're being given through that to contemplate what is important to you in future, because the Wheel of Fortune is about making a big life decision or turning a corner and moving in a different direction. And these tentacles here, they're giving me like cycles and completion and things being closed off. So I feel that because you're so on top of things, you've got an opportunity to decide what the next chapter is going to be all about and what you're focused on. And the gift of the day really is that what's important and what's really near and dear to your heart, that is totally revealed to you, like this blindfold being ripped off. Yeah, wow. So you're in it. So take on as much as you can. Like you're really productive at work. You're really good in your relationships. If you meditate, you'll get answers there. So it's really that you're productive and really on point in everything that you focus on, really. So if you have a lot of backlog in your work, then focus on that. If you have wanted some sort of spiritual awakening or personal understanding, focus on that. You'll make a huge headway, excuse the expression, or loads of progress in that area. If it's being in a relationship, should I get on the dating app? Should I try it out? Then yeah, if that's something that's important to you, this is really about changing direction so that you have a different experience. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune usually depicts an actual wheel with loads of complicated symbols, and there's things that are on top and things that are on the bottom. So it's kind of a card that says you're in control of your life, you're responsible for it. The choices you make are going to have certain consequences. And here it's much more ethereal. It's this woman who seems clueless because she can't see, and she's trying to use this abstract spiritual eye, but then the tentacles are coming in and making everything a little bit odd. And then her hand is severed, so nothing makes sense. And it seems like things are out of control. So that's, I think, the real success of this day. By looking at everything you've got going on, you're able to get clarity on something and complete this feeling of helplessness and, ugh, I'm a victim of my life. Because if anything encapsulates this sense of, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, it's this. It's like, oh, maybe I should try this. And that is such a waste of time and energy. It really is. Getting clear on what is important to you and your hopes and dreams is so important. Don't waste your years and life doing stuff that you don't enjoy. Life is too short, really. Really. Okay. Sorry, I was just thinking that, especially, people in their early 20s are given all these crappy, rubbishy jobs and taken advantage of. Like all these nice young people are always put on the front lines where they have to deal with screaming, angry, totally frustrated customers. It's just when you're like in your early 20s, that life provides you with a whole certain set of things. So that's the kind of message that's coming at me. If you don't know what you want to do and what your hopes and dreams are, Other people aren't going to make sure that you have a wonderful, lovely experience, for example, of your 20s, because they don't care. They're interested in their own stuff. So if you want to say, you know what, I'm 24 years old, and this is supposed to be a good time in my life, I'm going to make sure it is a good time in my life, because I deserve it, and if I don't do it for me, it's very unlikely that anyone else will. And the more clear you are on this setting, like this is a happy place. The Ten of Cups is like, what could my ideal life look like? And that's what you discovered today. So it's about understanding that and then having the kindness and the compassion for yourself to say, I'm going to structure my life in a way that's wonderful for me, because I deserve it. It's so, I don't know if I'm saying that clearly enough, but that's so important that you do it, because no one else will. And if you want a nice, soft, gentle, charming life, then make sure it is lovey, lovely and charming, and make it like that through your own efforts. Yeah. Okay, so number-wise, we've got 2 and 10 is 12, and 10 is 22. Oh, wow. So 22 is the master number of the builder. So the realization, this clarity you have about what is important to you is super life-changing, because you can really build on it. And it's not just something that's here today and gone tomorrow. This can be building a life which really feels like this most of the time. And again, you deserve that. You deserve to have happiness in your life. So if you get an opportunity to build some of that in today, please take it. Okay. So that's what I get for you here for Thursday, the 4th of August. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to order your reading with me. And if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.